Hi, this is Mariah from Watches Off Fifth, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to spot a fake Rolex watch. Rolex watches have become super replicated watches, for example, the Rolex Hulk, so it's important to know you're getting your money's worth when you're buying a watch, especially a luxury timepiece. And today we're going to talk about a few things you can look for that don't involve actually opening up the movement of the watch, which is the most reliable way to tell if a watch is fake. We're going to talk about weight, visual characteristics, sound, and product specifications. So let's get into it. The first characteristic we'll talk about is the actual weight of the watch. When you're buying a Rolex, you're going to know it's high quality, and some cheap metal that's on a fake Rolex isn't going to weigh as much as the 904L stainless steel, the oyster steel that the Rolex uses. So on the sub, it's a stainless steel watch. It does have weight to it. Also, the pieces inside of the movement are going to contribute to that weight. But even heavier metals like gold or platinum are going to be even heavier in your hand. If it's real gold, you're going to feel the weight of the real gold. Even between the stainless steel and gold subs I have, both real, the gold is much, much heavier. So you're going to want to make sure to look out for the weight when you buy a watch. Something else you'll want to look out for are the visual elements of the watch. So with a high quality Rolex timepiece, they have a really specific way of putting the paint on the bezel, putting the paint on the dial. There aren't going to be any fuzzy edges. If you look really closely around the bezel and also just around the hour markers, you're going to see that everything is very clean and precise. If you wanted to look through a magnifying glass or a loupe, you can do that as well, just to make sure everything is perfectly chiseled. And you can also see an inscription around the inner bezel of the watch. There are Rolex crowns and the name Rolex on the inside of the bezel. Another very important characteristic is the Cyclops magnification on top of the date. So if the watch has a date, the Cyclops is supposed to enlarge it 2.5 times. And you can actually check to see if the Cyclops is real by turning the watch on its side, looking at the date. And if the date looks like it's the same size with the Cyclops, then you know it's a fake Cyclops. There are a lot of ways to tell. There's also a really specific thing you can do, which is check the reference number. You're actually going to have a serial number on the inside of the case at 6 o'clock. And this serial number will match to the watch's warranty card. And altogether, I would say the features on a fake Rolex are going to just look a little bit more unfinished. They're not going to be as refined as a real Rolex. And you can see that all around the watch, from the dial, as I mentioned, the paint, but also the screws on the watch, on the bracelet. You can see it on the hands. If any of those elements seem off, it's going to be a fake Rolex. Another really helpful and quick way you can tell the authenticity of a Rolex is by actually picking it up and putting your ear to it and listening for a ticking sound. An authentic Rolex watch shouldn't have a loud ticking sound because the movement is very refined, well put together, and it's not quartz. It's going to be an automatic movement, so it should have a very smooth sweep around the dial. And if you hear any kind of clunky ticking, that's going to be an indication of a bad movement or a fake watch. Another great way to make sure you're buying an authentic Rolex is to do a little homework first. Just look up the model that you want to buy. You can do that on Rolex's website or on any platform that sells secondhand watches, and make sure you know the specifications of the watch. For example, you want to make sure the words on the dial match up to the authentic watch, the hour markers, the hands on the watch, the bezel, the size. All of these things are going to contribute to you just being a smarter consumer and knowing what you're paying for. And it's also important to remember that Watches Off Fifth not only already authenticates the watch for you, but you'll be able to check those serial numbers, check all of the characteristics we talked about, and make sure you're getting an authentic timepiece. You can also look at the reviews on our website. You can look at the reviews on Google just by searching Watches Off Fifth, and we can guarantee you the top quality product that you're looking for.